welcome back to the channel, and today we're back out on the Porsche 924. We are going to be tackling the infamous fuel system once again. I've done a number of videos on this topic, but today's job is going to be looking at the fuel pressure itself. Now, mainly I'm doing that because I've got a slight lumpy sort of feel within the engine as you accelerate. It does take a little bit of time to start as well sometimes on a cold morning. So I just want to make sure that the engine is getting the fuel it should be at the pressure it should be, and also seeing that the regulator is doing the job it is designed to do when it regulates the fuel pressure as the engine warms up. So we'll get out there and have a look. Okay, so we are at the fuel distributor on my car, and you can see here's the top connector to the top of the distributor, and that pipe runs down to a connector here, which then runs off to the warm-up regulator at the back there. And what we're going to have to do is connect this pipe here to the end of this one, which then flows, that one, which then flows through with this part being connected to the readout, and then we've got the switchable valve which then connects back to the top of the distributor here. So let's get this connected. So you would have seen that I have now removed this pipe from the top of the distributor, and here's the fitting that goes between here, as in the pipe, and the actual unit itself. And you will notice from the kit that this is exactly the same as these connecting pieces as well, which is very useful. So we now got to try and build a connection to both of these ends, so this pipe forms a part of the fuel system. So let's give it a go. Okay, so you would have seen that I've now connected the fuel pressure test kit onto the fuel distributor, and the test that I'm going to do today on mine is a cold test. So there's two parts to this. So firstly, it's about checking the fuel pressure at the first crank. So car hasn't started for a while, just want to understand how much pressure is being passed through the system from the fuel pump. I am expecting a readout of about 75 psi roughly for that, just to make sure that things are good. Now, in order to make sure that that test is done correctly, you do have to unplug, and you might be able to see the plug there, unplug the regulator warm-up regulator, which is tucked in down there, because you don't want that to kick in and start overriding the pressure and anything like that. So ideally we want to see what the first crank, let the engine run literally for 5-10 seconds just to see what that pressure is, get it built up to a certain point. The actual fitment of the pressure kit is very easy as well. You literally need two 14mm spanners, and the connections, as you can see here, are the 14mm bolts, I guess, or sockets that require the fuel fitments to be applied to the pressure test kit. So the first pipe here, this one, which runs down here and then off around to the warm-up regulator, that's the first one that needs to be fitted to the valve side of your input. The second part then attaches to the top of the fuel distributor here, and as you can see, when it runs from the pipe here, from this one, which is the warm-up regulator pipe, via the valve to a T-junction, the T-junction then goes off to your readout here, and then the second part obviously goes to the top of the distributor. So now this is, well, the test kit is now a part of the fuel system. The other thing to point out is you do have a relief valve here, which is connected to this little pipe here. Obviously when the fuel starts running, that will build up the pressure, and this pipe I've just put down through onto the floor. Ultimately when you release the pressure, the fuel will leave the system, via that pipe, so you just want it to go somewhere to easy and safe. Make sure nothing is flammable or anything like that around it. So yeah, this is the setup, and what we'll do is we'll do a crank now, get the engine started, we'll get a readout hopefully of around 75 psi. We'll stop the engine immediately, and then the second part of the test is to plug in the warm-up regulator and then let the engine run. And ideally, if the warm-up regulator is working as it should be, you will see that the pressure will start going from 75 down to around 50 odd, and that means that from cold start to engine warming up, it regulates the fuel and the pressure required to hopefully make the engine run the best it can in the various conditions that it's operating. So that is the test that we're going to do, 2 parts to it, and I'll set it up now and we can look at the gauge and see what we get. Right, so you would have seen that everything worked as it should. Now we have a slight leak here, which probably means I've got to slightly nip up one of these bolts. It looks like these connectors here, if that just zooms in, just these top ones just leaked out a little bit, so I'll give them a little tighten up. But ultimately what we saw is that the needle went up to about 75 5 bar, which is great, and that's a good sign. It's a good start. And as you can see now, we're just watching the fuel pressure, I guess, drop in terms of how much is going back towards the tank. And this is an additional test, I guess, just to test if your accumulator at the back is doing the job it should do. So I think there's about a 10-minute window that you get where you monitor how much of a drop you get in fuel pressure, and if it goes below a certain number, and I forget what the number is, it gives you an idea if your accumulator is on its way out or if it's leaking, potentially needs a new one. It looks like everything is okay at the moment. It's still just 28, 26 psi there, and it's been 3 minutes or so, maybe a little more. So it seems like it's going the right way, but you can keep me honest on that if any of you are watching and you've done this test before, what the sort of numbers you might be looking at. But anyway, on to the second part of the test. We're now going to plug in the warm-up regulator and just nip these bolts up a little bit more, and then we're going to start and run the engine for about 5 minutes, let it sort of get up to engine temp, and see if this pressure gauge stress, sort of drops from 75 down to 50, and that means we have a working warm-up regulator, working the way it should be. So yeah, fingers crossed. Right everyone, so you would have seen me do the warm-up test to see if the gauge and the warm-up regulator would actually drop the pressure, but it didn't, so it stayed at 75, which is, in many regards, and from the manuals and various forums I've read, that's too high. So it would suggest that the warm-up regulator isn't doing what it should be doing. So I'm going to do a quick little test just with my multimeter to see, one, that there is power getting to the warm-up regulator, but equally just check also the resistance within the unit itself, because that should be around 20 ohms or just over, maybe just under, just to make sure that's working as well. If not, then what I'm going to do is actually replace the unit with one that I've done a bit of a fix on, which allows you to adjust the pressure while it's attached to the car. So we'll have a look at that as well. Okay everyone, so we've done the tests on the fuel system, the fuel pressure, and a couple of things that I think have bubbled up out of this. Firstly, the pump is doing what it should do. I'm getting about 75 psi, which is sort of within spec. 65 to 75 is what you expect to get from your fuel pump through the system. So we're there. That's a good thing. What we are meant to see and what we should expect is the fuel regulator, certainly from cold as the engine moves through to being hot, or warm and hot, is it taking over some of that pressure regulation and dropping the pressure, as stated through some of the manuals, around, down to the sort of 50 mark. I'm not getting that. So there's obviously an issue with the regulator itself. Now, I've done a test for resistance. It's around the 20 ohms mark. I think it was 19.6. So it's there or thereabouts. It's not too far away. I've checked the power towards the actual unit itself through the battery and electrical system. It's getting the right power. So from that perspective, everything lines up. So you start to now think about the actual unit itself and the pivot on which the metallic strip sits. And that's where those are set by factory or by the companies that used to make them, like Bosch, for instance. And they are set to a certain level, which generally, if they fall out of sync, they get, thrown in the bin and a new one is required. Now, I have one here, and it's documented out there, including Wheeler Dealers. They did this and did this on the 924 he worked on, where you do a retrofit to the unit itself, which I've done here, which means you put a bolt into the unit and it attaches to the metallic strip pivot, and it allows you to raise up and down the metallic strip and where it pivots, and that ultimately adjusts the fuel pressure. So as we stand today, the car is running at max fuel pressure. There doesn't seem to be any sort of let up in that pressure as it goes through the system. The car runs, and it runs fine. There's no, what I would see, masses of carbon build up because it's running rich or so on, but I can feel there's a bit of lumpiness to it, which would suggest maybe it's just not lining up the way it should. So I need to dig into this a bit more, and most likely I'm going to fit this one and then adjust the fuel pressure as the system is running in sync. And that's something for a later video that I'm going to do. But I'd be interested in people's thoughts out there on what you've seen me go through and what sort of ideas that you might apply to sort of the setup that I've got, and whether anyone's done this particular fix out there and had any joy with it. Because all the manuals and sort of the feedback is you go and get a new unit and plug it in and off you go. So they're quite expensive refurbished. So if I can maybe find a fix doing it this way, I'll give it a try first before we go down that route. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's been a bit of a long one. We've gone through lots of parts of the fuel system. We've done a lot of testing. So any feedback and thoughts on the content, and if you like it, please do think about subscribing and following me also on Instagram. The next video will be on this most likely. I've also got the front brakes and wheel bearings that I'm going to be doing, so that's going to be coming along very shortly as well. But thanks again for watching, and next video will be along very soon.